Hey guys, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And welcome to another episode of PolyWaffle. In this episode, we will be looking at the life of a Buddhist punk and how you can break into the world of life drawing.
Hannah, aren't you meant to say Buddhist monk?
No, Simon, you heard me correctly. Buddhist punk. But you'll have to wait because first we're going to take a look at photographer Melissa and a day in her life.
Hi, my name is Melissa. I own my own photography business called In Flash Photography. I've been in the business for over 15 years. In my normal working day, I'll wake up, have breakfast like normal and start my day by checking emails, making phone calls, checking what my sort of day roster is for that day, what duties I need to do. And if I've got a location shoot, I'll pack my camera gear and lighting and head off and work for a few hours, make sure the client's happy. So after my working day as a photographer, which is normally around 6 o'clock every night, I go home and spend time with my family, cook dinner, hang out with them and just do the general sort of mother thing for the rest of the night and head off to bed for my next day.
I mean, a lot does go into running a small business, especially when it's a creative one, doesn't it?
Yeah, being an artist really is a full-time job, even if it doesn't pay like one. Seeing Melissa living well as an artist is a really good sign for Melbourne creatives.
Oh, for sure. The easier it is for people to live off what they actually want to do, the better the world will be. I honestly believe that. I mean, otherwise we could have the next Dali working in an office job their whole life. Now though, let's get a look at another artist's practice. A bit of a different routine, if you will. Let's check out this week's DIY.
Hi, my name's Annie Risby and I'm going to teach you life drawing structure. All you need is paper, a pencil and something that you like to draw with. When you're drawing the human body, first you want to start off with the shoulders. Then I draw the ribs, which I draw as a trapezium. Next I'll draw the hips and the bottom center of gravity of the body. Then I draw the hip joints as little circles on either end of this oval, which I just use lines with circles for the joints. I do this just so I can proportion the body properly. So right now I'm drawing the little ankle joints and where the feet will sit. I also do this with the arms. This just means that I can change around the proportions of the body. For the spine, I draw a natural spine curvature. You'll draw it through the middle of the shoulder blades and through the middle of the hips. Next, I flesh out the body. You just follow the lines of the structure that you drew before to do this. Next, you can add clothes and the structure of the head. I like to use thick textures just to outline everything. Once you're done with these texture outlines, you can rub out all the structure that you made inside the body and you'll just be left with your finished drawing.
It's quite surprising how even though she's using such a rigid formula, she still manages to make such unique works.
Honestly, I'm really into that cartoon style of drawing, and it's good to know that if someone else likes that taste, they can just use her principles and make something just as unique. It really is quite accessible.
Okay, I think Simon's going to go away and draw us a picture.
Definitely.
But in the meantime, let's take a look at the artist-run Artist Film Workshop.
Madeline Martiniello. I'm a member of the Artist Film Workshop, so I'm a filmmaker who uses the facilities here, but I'm also the president of the workshop's screening society. Richard Tui, who runs Nano Lab, he did a call out to all of his customers saying that he was going to start a film workshop, and he had a meeting and a whole bunch of interested people showed up to that meeting and I was one of them, and from there we built our first lab up on Swanston Street. The workshop, we have facilities so that people can shoot, develop and also print 16mm and 8mm films.
My name's Hannah Chetwin. and I'm the lab manager at Artist Film Workshop. This is really the only place where you can process your own 16mm, where you can learn about it, where you can learn how to use projectors. So it's pretty unique. There are new members joining all the time, and it's really open, like anybody could join.
About a year or so after the workshop started, we decided to begin doing public screenings, and we started a film society. And so that began as a way of accessing the 16mm film collection at the National Film and Sound Archive in Canberra. And we realised that they had a really incredible collection of experimental films that just weren't getting shown and that most of us had never seen and couldn't see. So we decided to start screening them monthly. And we've now been nearly 5 years doing these monthly screenings.
We've opened it up a bit more to include Australian filmmakers that maybe don't get as much recognition as they should. And there just seem to be heaps of those filmmakers that there's not really a space for them to show their work, especially their older work that they usually made on 16mm. And it's just providing a context for those filmmakers to screen their work and for people to see it, because it's beautiful stuff and it's not often, it's kind of forgotten, I guess, a little bit. I feel like there's nothing more beautiful than film, than the celluloid image. And I think that digital just doesn't compare in terms of the quality, in terms of the colour and the sort of the beauty of it. I really just love film. So it's great because there's just not that much opportunity to work with film.
Well, Artist Film Workshop is unique in the most simplest way because it provides access to analogue film, which is very difficult to come by and is rarely taught in film schools anymore. But it's also unique for the community that it has fostered here. I think that's one of the most important things about Artist Film Workshop. It has really become a hub over the last 5 years or longer for people interested in types of filmmaking outside of the mainstream. So it gives people a space to both create and share and watch films that wouldn't otherwise be seen or made.
Wow, that really seems like a think tank for Melbourne film. There really are some great platforms popping up and helping Melbourne artists right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. I mean, they still do 16mm film processing.
Yeah, that stuff's making a real big comeback recently.
Fantastic.
And even though there's better quality formats out there, if the old gear works for you, then by all means use it. I mean, you can make art out of whatever you want.
Well, we've got just the segment up next, Simon, and we'll be right back after the break.
And welcome back to PolyWaffle.
Simon, are you a fan of modern art?
Yeah, sure.
How about expensive modern art?
If I had the money.
I hope you are, because up next we are going to be looking at just that. This week on Is This Art?
Welcome back to Is This Art, guys. Joining me again is Az Cardone. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Daniel.
Ready to tuck into some art?
May we?
Good stuff, we may. Today I want to talk about a contemporary piece. First time we've covered modern art on the show, so this will be exciting. It's a piece by one Christopher Wool. It is called Riot, and it consists of a stencil with the word riot. Now this sold for $29.9 million, which is certainly warrants discussion, I think. Az, what do you think about this one?
Well, I've seen this before in my holy book. You know, Father Damon says riot, R-I-O-T. But Damon also said you can say Reut or R plus O. There's many ways to view the life, and that's just one of them.
Yeah, and if you were to read it backwards, it could even say toi, which I believe was in the song Lady Marmalade from Moulin Rouge. It was toi. So that's another way to look at it.
Very cultural.
Indeed, and it's important that that art lets you read into it and interpret it for yourself. What I really like about it, aside from the very impressive big boy price tag of 29.9 mil, is that the word riot and the stenciling kind of font there really, you know, invokes images of the underground and punk rock and resistance. And to me,
I might stop you there.
Yes.
Father Damon told me that the only punk around is Jesus.
I tend to agree that Jesus probably was the original punk. But to me, even more so than Jesus, nothing is more punk rock than flagrant displays of wealth from the 1%. So Riot is definitely art in my books. I think that's just about all from us. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.
My God, he's outdone himself again.
Ah, yes, an artist in his own right.
Expensive contemporary art, though? Yeah, not exactly my cup of tea.
Yeah, look, I'm not rushing out to buy something I could find on the floor for $100 either.
No, that wouldn't be very punk, as you would say.
Simon, you're reading my mind.
No, Hannah, I'm just reading the teleprompter.
Come on. It's time to look at an artist's personal development. Let's get our punk credentials back and take a look at that Buddhist punk you wanted to see.
The wait is now over, guys. Let's get into it.
It was a form of expression, an art form really for us, and an expression of being able to make noise and express ourselves artistically in any way we wanted to. If that meant grabbing twigs from a tree and playing them on a drum kit or tin or metal, it meant being experimental, it meant being able to join collaboratively together with different groups of people and making all sorts of different sounds. So really it was a deep expression of whatever sounds we wanted to make that were of some artistic, sometimes political expression at the time here in Australia. And then a whole group of us went to England, and then it became a different expression over there. And we took our little four-track. I was the only one brave enough out of everybody to go and say, here we are, we're a group of punk bands from Melbourne, and the little bands, and I took it in, I remember taking it in, and the A&R guy, the artist's relations guy at Rough Trade going, oh no, you're way too experimental for us. So I'm thinking, oh my God. I was a searcher from the day I was born. So like really, I had already read, all the books on hallucinogenics and, the Carlos Castaneda. I was already a searcher. By nature, I already had the big, deep spiritual search in me, innately in me.
Buddhism and the punk lifestyle. It's a pretty cool mix. I must say that did not disappoint.
What did you expect? I mean, there really is a lot of great work going on in the Melbourne arts community right now.
It sure is. And speaking of, up next we're going to be taking a look at Steve, also known as That Wig Guy, a Melbourne wig designer making waves in the arts and fashion community.
So yeah, it starts with a drawing and ends up being whatever it takes is how it works out. I have a belief that if you can draw it, you can build it, you can make it. My name is Steve Monroe. I'm known around town as That Wig Guy. That's my business name, and it's also what people who I don't know call me. Do a lot of wigs for fashion, shoots, and a bit of film work, a bit of TV work. I do some chemo work as well for people with alopecia. My business is more of a specialised character realisation, I guess you could call it. I found the wonderful world of synthetic hair and all the potential that it holds. Because they're not real they're not realistic hairstyle. And you know, art pieces is kind of like a bit of a tall call, but these go on your head. These are art pieces that you wear on your head. We had a family tradition that we would go to my grandmother's house on Saturday afternoons, every Saturday afternoon, and have scones. And my mother had four sisters, and they would set each other's hair. And after my mum passed, I became the hair setter. At 9 years old, I used to set their hair. So I would cut their hair and all that. And all the old neighbourhood ladies used to come over on a Saturday afternoon saying, "Stephen setting." I thought it was fun. It used to be $10 for all of them. It's the last thing that you look at before you leave the house, and it's also the full stop on your outfit. How your hair is styled and all that sort of thing either makes or breaks your outfit. This is kind of like, it has the beauty of options and also transformation, because with wigs you can actually transform your whole face and your whole look. I build them to last, but I love to see them out in the world and doing their job and helping people sort of like realise another aspect of their personality, another dynamic to their character. Everybody that I work with is really inspiring. So as long as sort of like the art culture that this all falls under continues to inspire me. I can't see me stopping. But you know, with pins and determination, anything's possible. Anything.
Exactly.
Such a great creative presence. You can honestly tell even just by watching him.
I mean, you'd have to be right. To be able to see what he sees just in people's hairs, that's pretty fantastic.
Speaking of fantastic though, up next after the break we're going to be looking at ceramicist Amy Jo's favourite place. Don't miss it. Welcome back to PolyWaffle.
Hannah, didn't you say we're going to check out a ceramicist?
Yeah, a ceramicist and mother. Handling such delicate things around kids must be hard. I wonder if her favourite place is even anywhere near her children.
Well, let's see, why don't we, Hannah? Let's check it out.
My name is Amy Jo Jory. I've been living in Melbourne for just over 10 years, and I moved over to study a Masters of Fine Arts. I have a background in sound, video, sculptural installation, and the work that I make in that kind of respect and performance is pretty dark. Sometimes it involves endurance performance, sometimes it involves looking at themes that can make me feel like I'm turning myself inside out. And so I developed this other thing called torpor, which is about a break from all of that. And so torpor is a ceramics and jewellery, and what I enjoy most about it is it's, in terms of ceramics, it's about making functional stuff for the people I love. Sometimes I also sell it, but mostly it's stuff for my family and my friends to make us feel empowered and strong and loved and seen and valued. My favourite place to hang out and make my art is in my studio and in my house and with my people. Yeah, I feel really lucky. I've got some pretty nice spaces to work in at home, and I get really inspired just through everyday life.
Wow, so many interesting creatives this episode, and honestly, that would definitely be my favourite place too. What a great spot.
Oh, agreed. I mean, as far as the studios go, it's almost as good as this one.
Almost. Well, let's finish off this episode in the studio then, shall we? To take today's show home, we've got another great Melbourne musical act for you guys at home.
Yes, this week Claire and Andy are going to be playing for you right here in the studio.
I can't wait. And thank you again for tuning in to PolyWaffle. We'll see you all next time. Here they are with their song Amor en Paz.
sentir que eu sofrer e me desesperar. Foi então que da minha infinita tristeza aconteceu você. Encontrei em você a razão de viver e de amar em paz e não sofrer mais, nunca mais. Porque amor é a coisa mais triste quando se desfaz. O amor é a coisa mais triste quando se desfaz. Once I loved, and I gave so much love to this love. You were the world to me. Once I cried at the thought I was foolish and proud and let you say goodbye. Then one day, from my infinite sadness you came and brought me love again. Now I know that no matter whatever befalls, I'll never let you go. I will hold you close, make you stay, because love is the saddest thing when it goes away. Because love is the saddest thing when it goes away.